Ja, det är dags att sammanfatta säsongen 2019 för Östersunds fotbollsklubbs del. Det har varit upp och ner, och innan alla lämnar Östersund så fick vi tag på Ian Birchnell. Ian, how does it feel right now?
Yeah, I'm a little tired after last night's 3 performances. I think it was a long day. You know, we arrived 9 o'clock and we were still going out on the stage until 9. So it was a long day, but it was really good. I thought all the players and staff did a fantastic job.
Have you ever been an actor before?
No, it was a debut for me on that. So I can't say I've done anything, not on stage like that. Definitely not on stage. So it was the first time for me, but it was good fun. I think it helped. You know, we practice it a lot, and we practice it just between ourselves, and we hear each other doing it so many times. It wasn't that funny or interesting anymore by the time that we got to the end of it. But then it helped a lot when the crowd were there, because then you realised, okay, it's new for them, so it's more interesting, and you got some response from them. And I thought everybody really, you know, we did, even the last rehearsals that we did they weren't the best. And I thought, I'm not sure how this is going to go. But then when the crowd actually came in, I think everybody stepped up a little bit, and in the end we put on a good show.
Mm-hmm. I know your family was there, your 2 small daughters. What did they thought about their daddy? Yeah,
I think they were impressed. I think they were surprised at the quality of my dance moves, so that was good. The middle one, Tia, she was giving the thumbs up, so she said thumbs up for daddy. A couple of the acts got thumbs down, I have to say, she said, but I can't tell you which ones they were. But yeah, they were waving a lot in the crowd, and they were shouting as well, but I had to ignore that and stay professional. But no, they had a great time and they enjoyed it a lot.
What will happen now?
Now I'm just in the office trying to finalise some of the stuff for the pre-season and some games, and just tie up a few loose ends. But most players and staff have gone now, so I'll go back to England tomorrow. But of course I just continue working from there, really just planning the off-season bits, and then the pre-season training camps and pre-season matches and everything leading up to the Swedish Cup.
Tell me, what's the plan for next season and pre-season?
Yeah, we come back early January, and then we have like 5-6 weeks. We'll go away on a short trip, I think, somewhere warmer, just to get some warm weather training. And then, of course, the Swedish Cup starts mid to late February. So everything that we do is kind of built up towards the Swedish Cup. Then we, of course, use that. There's some great games that we've got in the Cup now that is going to give us good preparation as well for the Allsvenskan. So then, you know, in between that, it's, of course, dealing with some player contracts and stuff like that.
What's happening there? Jamie left us, and what's more, Tom, we know.
Yeah, and Douglas, don't forget, Douglas was here and under contract. He's, of course, done a great job actually at Haugesund, and there's a cup final over there, so he's done really well with that, but his contract will expire as well. So that's a few that are obviously out. Alikate's an outgoing contract, but, you know, we're still discussing with him what the next step is, and we have quite a good and open discussion. It's been not so easy to discuss with with some of the economy and the things like that behind the scenes, so we've had to wait for certain moments to be able to get into more detail. But, you know, we're discussing with Ali, and he's very professional and open, and we have a good dialogue, so we'll see where that takes us now over the next few weeks. And the same is also with Kauppi. You know, we had Kauppi on loan, and we're still discussing both with his club and him with what possibilities there are. And I think as natural course, you know, some players that becomes interest in them in the January window. So then we have to look at that interest, and if it's good for us and good for players and things like that. And then also we'll look at players possibly coming in.
Is it difficult to plan a pre-season and a season when you don't know how the economic is?
Yes, very. It's really difficult to plan most things. It's been very difficult with a lot of things away from football, probably from the summer out. But we're learning how to deal with it, and we're working very hard to try and solve all the situations that we need. I think we've got a lot of very, very talented players under longer contracts, so that's a really positive thing for us. And you know, I think the players have left feeling like, not the last game of the season, we know that, but certainly the 5 or 6 before that, we started to really show some good progression, and I think everybody's excited to come back and try and build on that.
It was a hell of a season. So much was happening in the team, in the field, in the pitch, but also outside.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy season. I think we probably had 20 years worth of situations in 1 year, and I think you can't underestimate how that can affect everything that goes on around the club. And I think that the majority, you know, I said to come in and see the players and how they were on a daily basis, very focused on just improving and developing and trying to play well. And I think for a young team to have so much going on around them and to stay focused is huge credit to them. And I think they learnt a lot, and we'll build on that. I think that we started the season, I think the first 8 games we just lost 1, and had a very, very positive start result-wise. Then we drew a few too many and had a few injury problems. We knew that, but then it was really from the summer out that we've had problems with results, and for the first part of after the summer, problems with performance as well. Performances picked up towards the end and were much more like we wanted them to be. But I think that we even transitioned a lot of players in the middle of the summer. You know, with Tess, Ravel, Curtis, Hossam, talented football players that went out, and then we brought in young talented players. You know, in the summer. And I think it takes time for them to click together. And I think we started to see the product of that towards the end. And then with everything going on around us off the pitch as well, you know, we had a lot of situations to deal with. But I think the most important thing at the end was that we retained our Allsvenskan status, and that we achieved that by the end of the season.
Johanna Almgren is leaving. You need an assistant coach.
I do, yes. Joe, of course, did a great job when he was here for the short period that he was here, and Johanna's been fantastic since the first day that I arrived. She's been a huge asset to the coaching staff. So that's, of course, 2 big losses for me. So yeah, I'll look to build the backroom staff again. Again, it's been quite, since I come in, it's been a lot of changes even in the backroom staff, and we're all developing our workflow and the way in which we operate together. So I think we've developed a lot as a staff team as well, and yeah, we'll add somebody in. So I think we look for the right person with the right skill set to contribute.
If you look back to the season, what's the positive thing you can take with you and the team? Yeah,
I would say probably the youth of the team. You know, I think I look back on the Hammarby game was our first major blip. You know, I think we had the first 8 games where we only lost to Malmo away, and we were sat around 5th, and then we got beat heavily by Hammarby away, and obviously Hammarby was a really strong team throughout the season. They did that to many more teams than us. But when you looked at afterwards, I reflected on our team, and I looked at how many senior appearances every single player had got out on the pitch, and then I compared it to Hammarby. And it was crazy, their average age and the amount of experience that they had playing out on the pitch, and how inexperienced and young our team was. But that's a massive plus for me, is that so many young players have had so much exposure to matches in Allsvenskan. I think when Romakibi went off injured and Isak Sewankambo came in against Djurgården, it was the youngest team to play in Allsvenskan for 20 years. And that is a massive thing for this football club, because I think we've been on a journey that culminated in a fantastic achievements, but that team was together for 3 years building up over a process. And then when everybody left and everybody changed, this was a year where we put 14 new players in. 14 new players. I think only Ravel was over 25. Everybody else was 25 and under. I think 7 of them were 20 and under. I think it's a huge transition year with everything going on for these young players to be blooded, and really towards the end of the season, home to Hammarby, home to Djurgården, home to Sirius, away to Häcken, put in some really good performances under high pressure. I think for me, that was the biggest thing to take with us that we can carry into next season, and the things that we learned from that.
You're going home to England now, in vacation?
Yeah, it's not vacationing, sitting around the pool in the sun, because you don't do that in England. But certainly I get some time to see family, friends, and relax a little bit. But it's when the off season's in and there's no training, you can kind of work from everywhere. You have your emails on the phone, and the phone still goes a lot. So I still tick over with planning and preparation and discussions, I'm sure, with many agents and things like that, and emails. But in general, try to relax a little bit, go back and catch up with people that I've probably not seen for too long.
And maybe take some hours sleeping during the morning.
Yeah, but I say this every time, that it's normally not my decision. That's normally the 3 kids that decide how much sleep I'm getting. But no, yeah, to get up and take the girls to Dargis and come in work every day is probably going to be nice, just to relax a little bit more at home, and yeah, just be good to take a break and catch up with people, I think.
When will the team and you be back in Östersund?
I come back 2nd of January, I think I come back. So I've got a few weeks now and come back and then begin the planning. But the players will be back early January, around the 6th, to begin the preparations and come back in. I know that Jenny, Lisa, Oscar have worked really, really hard now with the off-season programmes, a lot of meetings, and make sure the players know exactly what they need to do so they come back in the right place, so that we can get going straight away.
Thank you very much, Ian, and have a good journey home to England.
Thank you.